I now give the floor to the representative of Greece.
Thank you, Madam President. I would also like to thank Special Envoy Hans Grunberg and Assistant Secretary General Joyce Moussouya for their, as always, very informative briefings today. I also welcome the participation of the Permanent Representative of Yemen in our meeting. I would like to make 3 points. First, this month marks 1 year since the first wave of unlawful and arbitrary detentions of diplomatic staff, UN and NGO personnel, and humanitarian workers by the Houthis in June 2024, followed by a number of similar waves of prolonged detentions. We reiterate in the strongest possible terms a call for the immediate and unconditional release of all arbitrarily detained personnel. The tragic death under Houthi detention of a member of the WFP on February this year remains unanswered. We reiterate our call for the immediate, transparent and thorough investigation of this terrible event. The recent press statement issued by this Council on the 5th of June is a unified and unequivocal message of condemnation of this detention and a strong demand for the immediate release of all detainees. Humanitarian workers face increasing violence and threats to their security. Houthi arbitrary detentions have aggravated the security condition, thus affecting the delivery of humanitarian assistance to a population devastated by dire living conditions. It is of utmost importance that the UN humanitarian assistance and protection services continue without disruption by reinforcing the funding capacity and adaptability of the Yemen humanitarian needs and response plans of 2025 and identifying priorities for action. We strongly endorse the recent EU decision to contribute €80 million in EU humanitarian funding for Yemen in 2025, as announced at the recent 7th Senior Officials Humanitarian Meeting, which took place in Brussels. We also echo the recent call of 116 UN agencies and international and national NGOs operating in Yemen for urgent and collective action. Second, the security situation in the Red Sea region remains fragile. The threat of Houthis' aggressiveness is still present, thus sustaining a constant risk to freedom of navigation and maritime security in the region. Consequently, merchant and commercial vessels continue to divert through alternative maritime shipping corridors, making the Red Sea region as one of the most disrupted maritime trade routes globally. Greece remains committed to safeguarding maritime security and freedom of navigation in the region of the Red Sea through the EU naval operation Aspides, with full respect to its defensive posture. This instability is further exacerbated by the illegal arms flow and reinforcements of Houthis' capability in terms of weaponry, advanced technology and training, in violation of the arms embargo regime established by Security Council Resolution 2216. In this context, we underline the importance of appointing with no further delay the fifth member of the 2140 Committee panel of experts with the role of monitoring and assessing the arms flow in the region. This is an essential part of the panel's work. We further stress the need for the reinforcement of UNVIM's operational capability in upholding the arms embargo regime. We are also deeply concerned about the stockpiling of weaponry by the Houthis and the militarization of civilian areas in violation of international humanitarian law and the obligation to protect civilian population that may endanger the safety of residential areas and lead to extended civilian casualty. Third, maritime security in the Red Sea region cannot be attained without a sustainable and long-lasting political solution to the Yemeni conflict. In concluding, Madam President, we reiterate our unwavering support to the SG Special Envoy, Mr. Grunberg, and his persistent efforts to engage all relevant actors to a peace negotiation dialogue through an inclusive Yemeni-led and Yemeni-owned political process under the UN auspices, fully respecting the sovereignty, territorial integrity and unity of Yemen. Also, women's full and indiscriminate participation to this process remains vital. I thank you.
I thank the representative of Greece for his statement.